محمد وآل محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أما بعد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إن الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد قال الله عز وجل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات سيجعل لهم الرحمن ودا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Everyone, my dear viewers, you're watching Vilayat TV, and this is the Muharram program, and I'm honored to share a few of my thoughts with all of you. Today is the 9th of Muharram, and our hearts are heavy, filled with grief, because tomorrow is the day of Ashura. The ayat that I recited is an ayat from Surah Maryam. It's verse number 96, and this has been the subject of our discussions for these 10 days of Muharram. And now we have that honor to listen to the tafsir and gain guidance from that verse of the Holy Quran, which is very beautiful. It's the verse that talks about love that Allah has appointed in our hearts. And just like any other ayat in the Holy Quran, so very precious, every ayat in the Quran is like a gem, and it has so many different facets to it. We take a look at that gem just like we look at a beautifully cut diamond. We can rotate it, and every word of that ayat has special meaning. People spend their entire careers, spend their entire lives trying to figure out the meaning of one ayat. So inshallah, this has been the basis of our discussion, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that for the iman and the good deeds that we do, amal saleh that we do, then Allah is going to give us a special reward, which is love that He's going to put in our hearts. And that love, we talked about how powerful love is. Love has that power to transform us. Love has the power to change us from someone who's ordinary to somebody who's extraordinary. Love is the thing that awakens us and perfects us. It brings out the abilities that we did not even know that we possessed. It brings out our inner talent. Love is so very inspiring. And when we love somebody who is pure and who is perfect and who is divine, then it elevates us to a position that we want to be at. It doesn't matter wherever we are today, our status, our position, our level of spirituality, it increases that manifold when we associate ourselves, whom Allah in the Holy Quran says, follow their path. This is a path of rahmat. So when we say rahmat, that is the special name of Allah. Allah always wants to be remembered by that name, Ar-Rahman and Rahim. These are the words of Allah's names that we always recite, and it means extreme love, extreme compassion, extreme mercy, extreme protection, extreme nourishment. We can think about Allah, who's our Rabb, who's providing everything for us, and the rahmat that comes from Him engulfs all of us and protects and saves and keeps us safe. And inshallah, especially during the pandemic, we have to keep reciting that name of Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman. And Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim is what we always remember, and it's going to protect us and give us blessings. So we talked about that, the power of love at the individual level, how love affects us and it raises us. So many examples in history about that love. During the early days of Islam, when we read Islamic history, there were people who had attached themselves to the Prophet, and it didn't matter what was happening to them, what torture they were undergoing, they always stuck to the Prophet, and it was all because of love they had for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love they had for the Prophet. It would amaze the disbelievers to see so much love and attachment. They called it infatuation, because it is a love that is ingrained in us. It is the love that Allah has put when He created us, that we automatically love something that is good, something that is pure, something that is spiritual, and from where goodness comes, because it's in the end, it's connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the source of all love. So from the lives of the people, we talked a little bit about Ammar Yasir and his mother Sumayya, who were the first martyrs. We look at people who migrated to Abyssinia to get away from the persecution of the disbelievers, because their lives were threatened, they were tortured, they were killed, so many of them. And in those days, to leave a place and go to another place, it was almost like death. Nobody wanted to leave their homelands. Today, it's very easy for us to go and visit another country and, like take a look at the culture. But in those days, they didn't even know what kind of welcome they are going to receive at this new place. But they all migrated. And of course, after a few years, they came back and joined the Muslims. But leaving a place that's a hometown and never giving up La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, leaving that place tells us how much sacrifice they had to endure, what they had to do to save Islam. And today, when we enjoy Islam and we follow Islam, we have to remember the sacrifices of all of those people. Example of love also from the days of Maula Ali, because we know love for Maula Ali is ingrained in our hearts. It is there in all of us who are followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam al-Muttaqeen. We love Maula with everything that we have. Every drop of blood has that love for Maula Ali built into it. With every drop of blood, we remember Maula Ali. We know people who were in love with Maula Ali, what they had to give up, how much sacrifice they had to do. Misa Tamar is one such example. He would sell dates, and Maula Ali would sit in his shop selling dates to help him out. So he was the friend of Maula Ali, and often Maula Ali would take him to the desert. They would sit under the sky in the night, gazing up at the stars. You can imagine the desert sky in the night. You can almost touch the stars in a sky in the night time when it's lighted up with all of those stars. And Maula would tell him the secrets of what's going to happen in the future. He knew everything. And Maula had told him, this is the tree where you're going to be killed because of my love. This is the tree where you're going to be killed. And Misam would go and water that tree, that date palm, and he would say, we have a special connection because my blood is going to flow into your roots. That's a connection. And that is going to happen because of my love for my Maula. And Maula had told him, you are going to be killed because you are going to never stop reciting my fazail. You're never going to stop praising me, and that's the reason why you're going to be killed. And that did not stop Misam. He would proclaim his love for Maula. He would say, anyone who wants to listen to the fazail of Maula Ali, come and sit by me. He would always say that, even though he was threatened by people at that time who were rulers, who were unjust and tyrants, he would still continue doing it. And the time came when Misam had to endure all of the hardship and get killed for the sake of his love for Maula, because Ibn Ziyad, the cursed, he had told Misam, stop talking about Maula. Of course, Misam never stopped talking about Maula. And so then he ordered Misam's tongue to be cut, and he was killed at that tree that Maula Ali had showed him that this is where you're going to die. And there's a beautiful poetry that I want to share. It's in Urdu. Bole Misam yadgare imtihan reh jayegi, baat mabaine zamino asma reh jayegi. हुब्बे हैदर रुक नहीं सकती कभी ता हश्र तक, मैंने दे दी है ज़बां, मेरी ज़बां रह जाएगी. This is such a beautiful poetry that reminds us that it is the love for Ali that we are ready to do anything, ready to sacrifice our lives. And we talk about the love for Maula Ali, the same love we see for Imam Hussein and Karbala. And Imam Hussein and Karbala, so much love, so much loyalty. He was surrounded by love. And he is the one who said that nobody had companions like my companions, which is so very true. And today, being the 9th of Muharram, our hearts are there in Karbala with our Maula. Today is the night, the 9th of the 9th, that was the last night for them on the beautiful plains of Karbala. That was the last night. Today we think they are beautiful because everybody is over there and our hearts are over there. And that is the place we want to go and visit. We want to go and visit the shrine of Imam Hussein. Every year, inshallah, that ziyarat is going to be opened up for us again. But tonight is the night to remember. And tonight is the night when our hearts are heavy with grief because tomorrow is the day of Ashura. It is said that today is the night when Imam Mazloom and his companions spent the entire night in the worship of Allah because of their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tonight also is the night, the 9th of Muharram, when the first attack happened on the camp of Imam Hussein. And when that attack happened, then Bibi Zainab Kubra went to the tent of Imam Hussein and she said, "Oh, my dearest brother, we have been attacked." And Imam Hussein tells her that, my dearest sister, remember that the Prophet of Islam is no more in this world. Remember, my dearest sister, that our dearest brother is no more with us. Our dearest mother is no more with us. And the time has come when I will no longer be with you. And Bibi Zainab says, my dearest brother, when our mother was no longer among us, I knew that I had my father and I had you. And when our father was martyred, I knew that I had you and Imam Hassan, my brother Hassan. And when Imam Hassan was martyred, when my brother Hassan was martyred, I knew I had you. But when you leave me, who am I going to have for support? And just then Hazrat Abbas steps inside the tent and says, "Oh Mawla, we have been attacked." Because Imam Hussein had told him that unless they attack first, we are not going to initiate war. And Hazrat Abbas wanted so much to fight, so much to show his courage, so much to go and defend Imam Hussein, because he knew that the reason for his birth was that dua of Maula Ali when he had said, "Oh Allah, give me a son who's going to help my Hussein in Karbala." That was why he was even born, and Hazrat Abbas always wanted to go and fight for Imam Hussein, but never got the chance. And Imam Hussein instead says, "Abbas, go and ask for one more night when we can be doing ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One more night when I can be with my friends and my family doing the ibadat for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." And that night was spent in prayers. It is written that the camp of Imam Hussein was buzzing with that sound of the prayers. Everybody was busy doing prayers right by Imam Hussein. That last night when they wanted to treasure the company of Imam Hussein, they wanted to be in that company and they wanted to ask Allah. And Imam Hussein is the one who's busy asking Allah, praying for the whole humanity, praying for love and peace for the whole humanity. If somebody looked into that camp that night, they would find people in ruku, people in sajda, people in ikhamat, people reciting verses of the Holy Quran. So much so that it is written that it was buzzing with the sound, just like bees in a beehive. Today also is the last night. The last night when Farwa is going to gaze at that beautiful face of Qasim, because tomorrow Qasim is going to be cut into pieces. Today is the last night that Bibi Zainab is going to hear the laughter of Honor Muhammad, who are going to be killed tomorrow. Today is the last night that Layla is going to see the beautiful form of Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar, who looked just like his grandfather, the Prophet of Islam. Today is the last night that she is going to gaze at him. And she wants him, but he is busy in that ibadat. Today is the last night that Hazrat Abbas is going to hold Sakina, comforting her in his arms. Today is the last night that Sakina is going to find comfort on the chest of her father, because this is where she would sleep. Today is the last night. Today is the last night that Rabab is going to comfort Ali Asghar with her lullaby, because it was very hard to comfort Ali Asghar. Lack of water. His mother's milk had dried up, and Rabab could see that she was losing Ali Asghar. Today is the last night that Rabab is going to be able to comfort Ali Asghar, because tomorrow Ali Asghar will be in the arms of Karbala, laying his head down and sleeping on that burning sand. Today is the last night that Bibi Zainab is going to be able to see that face of Imam Hussein that she had asked before her wedding, before her marriage. She had asked for that she is able to see Imam Hussein do his ziyarat every day of her life. But today is the last night that she can gaze upon his noble face, that compassionate, loving face. Last night that she can look into his eyes and see that love for her. And as the angels in the heaven gaze down upon this band of pure and good people that want nothing but love, the angels are amazed. They are awed by the sight. And they know the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to bow down to Adam was because of this, that human beings can reach a height that is unimaginable just out of love. Love that they have for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love for the Prophet, love for the Holy Alibad. They can see that people can achieve those heights. Human beings can achieve those heights. And my dear friends, tomorrow is the day of Ashura. Tomorrow is the day when we don't do anything that worldly things. Our hearts are there from dawn to sunset with Imam Hussain and his family. Tomorrow is the day when the soil of Karbala is going to soak with the blood of innocence that is going to be spilled there. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allah lanatullahi ala khamis zalimin.